dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs
What
you.
up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and the place to be for our Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. And we're talking about SmackDown, the night before Saturday night main event, Saturday Night Fever, if you will. We're in Savannah, Georgia, in Market Arena. We got Wade and Joe on commentary. So we started off with Damian and Drew just getting a big old brawl. These two hate each other. They're fighting because they have the steel cage, brother, on Saturday night main event. So we get a big brawl. Then we get Tiffy, Alexa, and Charlotte. My goodness. Tiffy is getting better with her mic skills. And Tiffy tells him, like, you guys are really not in my league. You're more vintage, and I'm the brand new, shiny, superstar here, and you guys are old. And I was like, damn, vintage. I was like, all right, Tiff, you ain't got to be mean like that. But, yeah, we started off like that, and then we have our first Money in the Bank qualifying match for the night, Charlotte versus Julia versus Zelina. I did not expect Julia to win. We are pushing her quick and fast, and what's crazy about that is my wife's like, who's Julia? Because she doesn't watch NXT. She just follows WWE, Raw, SmackDown, main roster stuff. Doesn't really dive in deep to any other pro wrestling. But she's like, who's this? Why are they pushing her? I was like, Julia's awesome. She's like, well, I guess. But Zelina deserves that spot more. Charlotte, sure, but Julia? I was like, just wait. Because Julia did get kicked up to the roster fast. Was champion in NXT, then boom. But hey, Julia's in the Money in the Bank match. Let's go. I like it. Motor City Machine Gun and DIY promo. These two teams, they hate each other. Zelina and Chelsea backstage get into it with Michin and BFAB, and that's how we get a match later on. Then we go right into Chris Sabin versus Ciampa. They have their match. They just had the promo package for it. It was okay. It was fun. Very technical and very fast-paced and what I enjoy. And Ciampa got the win because of shenanigans. Candice LeRae is with DIY, which I think should have been in the first place. Then we get Fraxium with Byron. They got a big tag team match tonight. The WWE Tag Team Championships are on the line. Can they take them off the Street Profits? Can they collect the smoke? I don't know. We'll see. Then Daniel and Drew again. Fight. Then we have Solo, Jacob, JC, and then Jacob Fatu. I got to get used to calling him Jesse. I'm ready to call him Jeff Cobb, but anything. Then we got the Secret Hervis versus Michin and BFAB. It was okay. Michin and BFAB for the win. Chelsea deserves better, in my opinion. And I do like her Secret Hervis. I just wish they did more. Then we get Byron with the Street Profits. They're like, hey, they want the smoke? Come get the smoke. Then here comes Solo and Fatu and JC because they have a match next. And then we get an LDF package. And this Worlds Collide is not on on Peacock. It's going to be on YouTube, if that's right. The Worlds Collide pay-per-view for NXT and AAA and all that. So I was like, I guess just YouTube, huh? And I got to figure out what's going on with the Double or Nothing pay-per-view because it's not showing up on Triller TV. Am I the only one? Let me know in those comments below. I keep looking and it's not there to purchase. But we have Fatu and JC versus Jimmy and Ray Phoenix. Oh my gosh. And these Jimmy and Ray, backstage are hyping each other up. They're ready to go. They're ready to do their thing. Promos, baby. They're ready to get to the ring. And this was an awesome match. This really was an awesome match. I got to say, kind of my match of the night, there's a really great whole thing with Fatu and Ray Phoenix. And it's just delightful. But, of course, the shenanigans, Solo, and all this good stuff, Fatu and JC get the win. Yeah, this match was awesome. This is my match of the night. I'm going to go with that. Then we get Byron with LA Knight. He's like, yep, I am going to go into this Money in the Bank qualifying match coming up, and I am going to get the win, and I'm going to be like, yeah, all the way to the briefcase. Then we have R-Truth. My wife's like, be nice to R-Truth. I'm like, I love R-Truth. I think R-Truth works in smaller doses, you know. And this is just a full promo, you know, saying like, if I have to, you know, beat some hustle, loyalty, and respect into John, I'm going to do that. I'm just like, okay, I'm not really looking forward to your match, but hopefully it's entertaining. And then saying things, if I have to save wrestling, that means I have to save John Cena. And then if Cena wins, we riot. You remember that sign from back in the day? So, yeah, it was flat, and the crowd felt it too. And I can hear him go, what? Not really caring, and that's not on R-Truth, and he has to be the one that has to piggyback this thing. That's what's insane about it. He's the one that has to. Like, there's no Cena. Where's Cena? Huh? Then we get a Naomi, we get a Jade, and a Nia package because they have their qualifying match for Money in the Bank next week. And I'm like, Naomi, Jade, and Nia. Who's gonna win that one? Oh, I think Nia. I think Naomi and Jade have another match inside, like, this rivalry and stuff. So I think Nia is going to go on to the Money in the Bank. We shall see. Then our next Money in the Bank qualifying match, LA Knight versus Aleister Black versus Shinsuke. Aleister has that amazing entrance. Freaking love it, dude. But this was fun. But Shinsuke got a nice kick to the head by Aleister, and before Aleister can cover, LA comes in, throws him out, and 1, 2, 3. LA Knight got the win. He's just like, hey, baby, it's just business, baby. This is what I do. Yeah. But LA Knight's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I think he is my odds-on favorite for the briefcase. Then we get Mellow Miz. I don't care. I wish they can get Mello away from Miz. I hate the him. Mello don't Miz. Yeah, just stop, please, please. Then we get Jay backstage. Well, no, we got a Jay Logan package because they got their big match at the Saturday Night Main Event, and then we go to Solo, Jacob, and JC with Nick. You know, and Nick tells Jacob that you have a qualifying match next week as well. And Solo's like, what? Well, what do you mean? Oh, you know, it's kind of throwing off their dynamic. And Jacob's so over. Like, I know he's going to turn on Solo and JC at some point. Or JC goes with Jacob. But he's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll get a Money in the Bank qualifying match. And Solo's like, yeah. You know, if you win and I win, we both win. Yeah. And Jacob just looks at him and goes, I love you, Solo. And Solo's like, oh, my God, this man's going to kill me. Nick stirring up some drama. We got a Bianca promo, you know, package. You know, she had to go find herself and got in that deep space in her head and everything, but Bianca will return. Then we have the WWE Tag Team Championship match, the main event, baby, the Street Profits versus Fraxium. This was good until the end, which I've been bitching about the DQs in WWE as of late. I'm tired of the DQ finish. We got a DQ finish here, but it's because the Wyatt Six are back. Oh my gosh, the lights go out and they hit in the ring and everyone's like, holy. As much as I don't like the DQ thing because I feel like WWE's been using it a lot lately, the Wyatt Six, I'm like, okay, this is awesome. They attacked everybody. DIY, Street Profits, Fraxium. The Wyatt Six is back, baby. Makes me happy. And I was like, finally. And at the end, they're all in the ring, lights out and everything. And Bray Wyatt's birthday was recently. And they had a cake in the middle of the ring. Oh, I got goosebumps. I wanted to tear up so bad. And then Uncle Howdy blew out the candle, and that's the way we end the show for SmackDown, May 23rd, 2025. Joe Wade on commentary in Savannah, Georgia at the In-Market Arena. Whew. My match of the night, Fatu and JC versus Jimmy and Ray Phoenix. Awesome match. Moment of the night, the cake. The cake is just what, sealed the deal for the show. Solid 4 out of 5 for the SmackDown. I wish we were back to the 2-hour mark and tighten some things up here and there, but USA Network wants their 3-hour wrestling show. But that's it. That's all. 4 out of 5. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Show the bum down. I want more. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life.
You want to ruin wrestling? So if I want to save wrestling, I got to save you.